Timmy has just won the lottery, and so the first thing he does is spend it on designer clothes, watches, and some other material objects. Soon enough, Timmy goes broke and has nothing to show for it. But Caden earns the same amount of money from the lottery, but he doesn't spend it on designer clothes or watches. He invests in his education. He buys coaching, courses, and books. And within 1 year, Caden 10 times the amount of money he made from the lottery. Because Caden knows the dangers of materialism. I'm watching a Hamza willpower guide, and my little sister knocks on my door, so I'm going to open it. And as I open it, I see that she's got a piece of paper with a pen in her hand. And so I already know what this means. It means that we're getting Chinese takeaway, and I've been hungry for the past 3 hours and dinner has not been made yet, so I already think about my order. Sweet and sour chicken with egg fried rice, but should I get it with the chips instead? And then she hands me the piece of paper and the pen. And I'm about to write down my order until I look at the top of the page and it's my sister's realistic birthday wish list. So I'm a bit upset because, bro, I was hungry and I wanted sweet and sour chicken. But we'll move in it. So I'm reading this wish list because she wants me to get something from it. And I'm reading all these things, and she's got like 50 different things. She wants jewelry, she wants this skincare product, she wants these shoes, but I'm reading all of this, and I just can't help but remember what Hamza said earlier about materialism and higher level desires. And so I go and ask my little sister, why do you want these things? And to be honest, I don't remember what she says. So, but it wasn't a good enough answer for me to think, yes, that's a valid reason. But she is convinced that she wants them. And it's at this moment where I realize that the trap of materialism is a dangerous trap to get into. This video could genuinely save years of your life, so please pay attention. This isn't my sister's fault. My sister is not the person to blame for wanting these things, because can we really blame her? If the modern media has pushed down materialism down our throats, if we go outside and we start to see advertisement after advertisement, you want this perfume, you need this hair product, you need this specific sunscreen so that you're finally happy. If that's what's being shoved down our throats and implanted into our brains, can we really blame my little sister who hasn't developed the awareness to look out for these things because she's never been told to? Can we really blame her when everyone, all this propaganda that you see from these evil companies, can we blame her for wanting jewelry, for wanting a specific skin care product, if a hair care product, or any other thing? Because I want you to imagine, right? Some guy way back, maybe in high school or primary school even, and you probably know someone like this where they would have like an obsession with maybe getting shoes or some material object. And if we asked him why he genuinely wants it, he probably doesn't even know. If we're being truthfully honest, he probably doesn't even know, right? I think it's because the modern media has sold us this lie that if we buy the shoes, if we get the jewelry, if we get that specific brand, if we will finally be happy. But we know that that stuff doesn't make us happy. If anything, it makes us worse because we've just spent our time and our hard-earned money to get this object. We know what makes us happy is things like kindness, gratitude, presence and mindfulness. We know these are the things that make us happy. We know literally every morning waking up and writing 5 things that you're grateful for actually makes you more happy than buying the shoes. Meditating every morning, focusing on your breath so you actually become present and can enjoy the experiences that you have with other people. That's the things that make us happy. Getting good sleep is what makes us happier people. It's not buying this specific necklace or getting these sunglasses or getting the watch. But the modern media, the modern companies, the evil companies have sold you and sold me a lie. They have sold us a lie, and they have sold everyone around you a lie. That if you buy this specific product, you will finally be happy and all your problems will be fixed. I'm not against buying any material object, by the way. I'm against buying material objects specifically for status. So what do I mean? I'm talking about you're buying a specific object to get some sort of social gain. And so, for example, buying a watch or a supercar, you don't really need it, do you? You don't necessarily need it, but you're buying it for like the validation of other people. Does that make sense? I'm okay with buying something like an Oura ring, a Whoop, maybe like a specific mattress, things that improve your life quality. So, for example, what I just said, like getting the Whoop, getting the Oura ring, because those things like the Oura ring and the Whoop, they track health metrics. And that's actually, if you really think about that, tracking your health is actually a great thing to do. If you could track your health and genuinely optimize the health that you have, that to me is an investment. That's not a purchase. That's a whole investment, bro. But when you're purchasing something, what is that doing for your life quality? Like, if you don't have any shoes and you're just walking around with like holes in your socks, fair enough, right? But like at that point, you would get any shoe. It wouldn't really matter to you. But getting, you have already got like 10 pairs of shoes. Like, you know, like you see some shoe collectors who will be like, yes, with the key charm there. Like, no one cares, bro. Like, you can probably tell I don't know shoes that well, because it's like, why, just too much for my brain. So, yeah, that's just a side tangent. Investments into your health are fine. Buying objects for status probably aren't fine. When you are like, when your business is booming and you can do that, fair enough. But to be honest, we don't have businesses that are booming, bro. We just don't. Yo, future me here. Like, please understand as well, just so like it's clear. If after you've done your questioning of why you want like a specific material object, for example a supercar, and you come to the conclusion that you actually genuinely want it and it's not just because of like the social validation you'll get, go ahead and buy it. Go ahead. I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is, if you're gonna get a material object primarily or entirely based on your social validation and like social gain, you should probably, I think I would probably consider it and like I reevaluate why I want the thing, because it's really important that you do this, because spending your life
to get a material object to then realize like, hey, I don't actually like get anything from this, is gonna be awful. But if it's like you've genuinely wanted it since you were 3 years old, and it's like you didn't like, because at 3 years old you probably weren't thinking, oh, how can I get validation within the social hierarchy? You weren't really thinking that. So if like maybe at 3 years old you were super interested in supercars, fantastic, go ahead and buy it. Who am I to tell you what to do in that sense, right? But if it's like, you know what I'm saying, man, if you want it for social validation, just question it. That's all. Safe.
Right? If anything, we should be so careful. We should make sure that every single penny is an investment made and not something that is just useless, right? For example, getting an extra pair of shoes that you don't need. If you have holes in your shoes, fair enough. Like I say, go and get your new pair of shoes. But if you've already got 2 pairs of shoes, you don't really need a third one. If they're dirty, clean them, bro. Don't be, oh, they're not clean, oh, they're creased. Bro, if I see some guys start complaining, oh, my shoes are gonna get creased, oh, I immediately label them as a Timmy, because who cares? No one's looking at you, oh, he's got a line on his shoe. No one's looking at your feet like that, bro, unless they're a bit weird. But then, like, would you even want to be around them? Like, hopefully I'm driving a point home that you don't. I'm mainly talking about shoes, but this is for other things as well. So, like, a fancy supercar, a lot of us want, like, supercars. But the truth is, if we genuinely question why we want this thing, we're probably going to say something like, this person made fun of us 10 years ago. This girl rejected me 5 years ago, and so I'm going to waste years of my life to buy this supercar. So hopefully if I drive it past her one day, she can do this. But we need to understand that it's not our fault that we want these things. Like I say, it's pushed onto us by the modern media, which are selling us a false cure. That's the best way to say it. They are selling us a false cure. We need to understand that the real cure, the real way to get happiness, are the things I explained. Meditation, gratitude, kindness, like healthy human things, appreciating your life, actually being able to be present in conversations without your mind wandering. I think I have videos on my channel explaining meditation, but I'll just do some quick stuff here if you haven't seen those already. Meditation is simply, like, I'm going to introduce it to you in a simple way. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. That is a quick meditation session. You can go for longer, and what we really want you to do is focus on the breath, then lose focus on the breath and be focused on something else because your mind will be wandering. Notice that, and then bring it back to the breath. Bring your focus back to the breath. And then the more you do that during your meditation sessions, the more present you'll be able to be in conversations. And gratitude is just every morning, wake up, write 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't really matter the number. The point of it is to actually just think about what you're grateful for. It doesn't actually necessarily matter what you write. It's just that you've took the time to actually think of it. And I promise you will be a happier person within 2 weeks from now. Your mental health will be so much better, bro. Share this with a friend who might actually enjoy this video and might take some value out of it. Don't waste your life chasing for a false cure.